Top stories tonight. In the spirit of Ramadan fasting, 90,000 people benefit from Governor Zulum's humanitarian support in Monguno. Adherence to preaching guidelines take center stage as stakeholders interface in Maiduguri. Also tonight, Kan Borno State holds interdenominational unity service in commemoration of Easter Monday celebration. Good evening, this is NTA Maiduguri News reaching you live from our studios for today, Monday, 18th April 2022, which is also the 17th of Ramadan, 1443 after Hijrah. I am Yagum Subukar. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum has felicitated 90,000 people, including internally displaced persons and members of the host community in Monguno Town, headquarters of Monguno local government, benefited from distribution of food items and food and non-food items as well as cash support. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum personally supervised the exercise with the support of stakeholders of the area and government officials as part of continued support to people in the holy month of Ramadan. Government House correspondent Muhammad Gwani reports.
Each of the 35,000 male beneficiaries received a bag of rice and maize, while a total of 55,000 women got a fabric, 5,000 naira cash and sugar, for which they expressed gratitude to the government over the gesture.
Allah mishi albarka, Allah kuma ya kara mishi arziki.
Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, who assured the beneficiaries of improved access to their farmlands, however urged them to cooperate with the security operatives to ensure their safety, develop resilience, and be prayerful at all times.
This community was displaced by the insurgents a few years ago, but they have returned back home. Glory be to God, because the community had the opportunity of accessing their farmlands last year. But still, they need to be supported because not all of them have access to the agricultural lands. That necessitated the need for the Borno State government to come and support them with food and non-food items, especially during the Ramadan period.
While in Monguno, Governor Zulum visited the temporary site of the Federal Polytechnic constructed by the state government, where he directed POP be used for the offices of the principal officers, landscaping of the premises, and construction of generator houses. This is in preparation for handing over of the project to the management of the Polytechnic to commence academic activities. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Gwani, NTA News.
I'm back here in Maiduguri. Islamic scholars have been charged to ensure that they carry out preaching and other religious activities in line with laid down guidelines towards consolidating on the prevailing peace and cohesion in Borno. This came up during a stakeholders meeting on standardizing Islamic religious preaching held at the show of Borno's Palace in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. Abubakar Musa reports.
The meeting, held at the instance of Governor Babagana Umar Zulum and spearheaded by Shehu of Borno, was specifically designed to ensure that Islamic preachers in Borno State do not deviate from acceptable guidelines of preaching during and after the month of Ramadan. In their various recommendations, State Commissioner of Police and Director, State Security Service, as well as Commissioner of Religious Affairs, all harped on the need to scrutinize religious activities, particularly preaching, for sustenance of peace and understanding among the diverse ethnic groups across Borno.
We are gaining peace in Borno State. There is no need for us to create a vacuum or to give a pathway for those inciting preachers who will come and instigate and confuse followers to go and be doing the wrong thing.
If anybody intending coming from outside or within must get permission duly accepted by the board before started preaching.
While commending the state government for convening the meeting, Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Garba El-Kanemi, said, as custodian of the citizenry, his doors are opened to accept any noble initiative and called on clergies to do what is expected of them. Certain preaching laws were also reviewed during the meeting. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
And now to Easter celebration. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum has felicitated with Christians in the state and other Nigerians on the ongoing Easter festival. Zulum, in a statement by his spokesman, Male Isa Gusau, called on citizens to pray and deeply reflect on key messages of the Easter, which align with Borno State government's program that welcomes the mass surrender of insurgents who undergo stringent security profiling, demobilization and safe reintegration procedures that can guarantee the full return of sustainable peace in Borno State. Governor Zulum prayed for enduring peace in Borno State, the Northeast and Nigeria in general. In commemoration of this year's Easter Monday celebration, the day after the resurrection of Jesus Christ, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN Borno State, has organized unity service to encourage Christians to continue the good work Jesus Christ has done while on earth through his death and resurrection. Rebecca Baturi was at EYN Center, venue of the service, and now reports.
Easter Monday is the last day of the long weekend before work starts again, used to celebrate the victory of Christ to save mankind through the cross at Calvary. It is in line with this that Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN Borno State, organized the program to reawaken Christians on their responsibilities to pray for peace of the state and the country at large, and also to emulate the exemplary life of Jesus Christ, who sacrificed his life for mankind.
CAN is calling on the state, both Muslims, Christians, non-Muslim, non-Christians, to embrace peace.
Retired Reverend Joshua Adamu, in his sermon tagged Resurrection and Abundant Life, drawn from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 35 to 58, admonished believers to offer themselves for the work God has called them to do in order to be rapturable at the second coming of Jesus Christ. Some worshippers expressed appreciation to God for sending Jesus Christ to die for the sin of mankind and for the victory he brought by his death and resurrection.
Jesus has shown us the way. If we don't work out our salvation, it means judgment is coming.
The occasion also featured prayers for the nation and the state, in particular for peace to reign and for the success of the 2023 general elections. In Maiduguri, Rebecca Baturi, NTA News.
Still on Easter celebration, Christian widows across Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere local government area have benefited from a donation of food items to celebrate this year's Easter with ease, courtesy Borno State government. Our correspondent reports that widows from the 9 local government areas of southern Borno were also not left out. It has been the tradition of the Zulum administration to always lend a hand of support to the Christendom during festivities such as Christmas and Easter. In continuation of its benevolence, Borno State government, through the high-powered Committee on Distribution of Easter Gift, headed by its Secretary Justice Zari, and SSA to the Governor on Youth Empowerment, Christopher Godwin Akaba, were at EYN Church Wulari, Jerusalem, where 30 bags of rice and 10 cartons of cooking oil were presented to the widows.
On behalf of the Christian community, we cannot mention enough what the governor has been doing to us. So we remain grateful and we pray for his government to continue successfully with the giant strides as he has been making.
Justice Zare equally commended the governor's zeal for always identifying with parents of abducted Chibok schoolgirls as they commemorate 8 years of abduction of their children. Chairperson Christian Widows Association Borno State, Asabella Duku, who was greatness of patience as it has high status in the sight of Almighty Allah.
Akwai ayan da yake magana akan wasta'inu bis sabri was salah. Yace me hakuri akan sallah saboda wajibtin sallah Allah ya umarce mu cewar sai mun hada da hakuri. Sa'annan zamantakewa na rayuwa kansa ma shi ma yana buƙatar hakuri.
Allah has stated in Quran 39 verse 10 that only those who are patient shall receive their reward in full without limitations. Islam, which is a complete code of life, teaches faithful to be patient, especially in difficult situations, and have the strong belief on Almighty Allah that He will never leave us alone. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News. And on a sad note, the body of late Yahya Fatime Muhammad, wife of retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Bazanna Laminu Mamadi, has been laid to rest in Maiduguri. Umaru Kirawa completes the report.
In the early hours of Monday, personalities ranging from serving and retired police officers, top government officials, members of the business community, traditional, religious and community leaders, as well as military and paramilitary, converged on the residence of retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Bazanna Laminu Mamadi to witness the burial prayer of the AIG's wife, Yahya Fatime Muhammad. The burial prayer was led by Goni Bukar Zainowami. The deceased Yahya Fatime Muhammad, who died following a protracted illness, left behind 8 children, among whom are Fatima Laminu of Corporate Affairs Commission, Hawa of University of Maiduguri, Mohammed Laminu of Ramat Polytechnic, Hadiza of Code of Conduct Bureau, as well as Tahiru of Nigerian Customs Service, among others. The deceased has since been buried according to Islamic rites at Gonge Graveyard. In Maiduguri, Umaru Kirawa, NTA News.
Similarly, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Professor Aliyu Shugaba, on behalf of the entire academic community, mourned the loss of former Vice-Chancellor of the University and Professor Emeritus Jidda Mamadou Gazama, who died last Sunday, 10th of April 2022 at the age of 83. As the Shatima Ilmo of Borno Emirate, the deceased was instrumental to the establishment of the Center for Arid Zone Studies and Northeast Biotechnology Center, both in the University of Maiduguri. A valedictory session for the late Vice-Chancellor comes up tomorrow at 10 in the morning at Muhammadi Indimi International Conference Center, while wake keep will take place at the Chapel of Grace by 5 p.m. same day, all in the University of Maiduguri.